Hello everyone, George here, and we're back inside of my implementation of FNAF. Right now we're in Maya LT, working on the supply closet, specifically texturing these different assets. And I think I'm going to jump down here and work on this bucket. So let's go ahead and combine these assets. So we have the actual bucket itself, and we have the the handle, and we can combine these into one object if we want to, or keep them separate. I'm not completely sure at this time. Let's just combine them for now to make our lives a little bit easier. So that's one solid object. Edit, delete by type, history on that object. I'm going to try cylindrical unwrapping on this for the most part. So let's go ahead first and try to grab, let's see, it's on every other one, which makes this a little bit of a pain in the rear. So let's try this selection first, ring all the way around, and let's do the same thing on this all the way around. Ooh, that did everything. That was interesting. Can we, let's see, object mode? No, probably not going to work, right? Let's do face, and that got all them. And let's do this. Can I grab all of you? There we go. That grabbed all of the faces connected. Now let's go to UVs and cylindrical. Wrap it all the way around to the back side. And let's bring our UVs out. So modeling editor's UV editor. Take a look at what we've got going on here. So there's a top and the bottom. Now at the moment they have the same UV space. Now it looks like we've grabbed something else accidentally. Not sure what that is, so let's move it out of here. Also looks like there might be a little bit of seam issue right there, but nothing to worry about yet. Let's go in our UV shells and grab all of these elements and move them out. I am actually interested in knowing what this part is, so let's move in and hit F. It looks like it's part of one of these little nubs, which may not last for very long in what we're doing. So let's just grab the top and the bottom. We can move these. Really, they could go on the same place. They could be using the same texture if we wanted to. But for now, we'll have them as separate elements so that they do look a little bit different. I'm going to scale them down a bit because I don't need them taking up too much space. Let's turn on the, let's see, checkerboard, and we'll notice that we've got some stretching going on. So let's use our scaling tool to give them some more texels to sample. Doing that and scaling down again, of course, when we're in the right space, and then just trying to give them something that's a little bit more square. There we are. So that's about what we need to work with. Push that somewhere up there. That's great. Scale it up a bit. That's fine. Close enough. That's better, isn't it? We might want to double things up a little bit because now we're not getting a whole lot of space to sample. So we might want to play around with some things later on. Cut it in half and then maybe have the two halves repeat the UVs from one side to the next. So we have more texture space. Okay, so that's that bit. We're going to do the same thing for this bit over here. So that's an entire shell right there that it's wrapping up, it looks like. So it also has the top. I don't really need the top. What I really do need are the faces though. So I believe with the way I modeled this, I should be able to grab just this bit here and get all of what I need. Yes. So let's go ahead and do the UVs on that. Once again, cylindrical. So let's do cylindrical right there. We're going to loop this back around to the back side of it. Coming back over here, we'll see what we have right there. I'm going to just move it off to the side and get a better look at how our things are distorted. And we can see them right here. Let's go to shell mode. So we've got our shell. And let's squash this down a bit. Something like that. I'm happy with that. And just move this over here someplace for the moment. So this is going to be 99% of my geometry right now. So I do want this. This is going to need to take up a lot more space. Geometry. I mean, it's going to take up most of my look. So we're going to move that somewhere in there. And we need the tops as well. So those are that's my UV shell right there. So what we're also going to want is this top bit up there. Looks like that is also a shell. I can probably just grab that top bit right there, go to UVs and do planar mapping from the top down and scale that. Now I'm probably going to want to cut this up a bit to make that work, but we'll just move it off to the side for the moment. I'm also going to want to grab the inner ring of this entire thing. Right there. We're also going to do another planar cylindrical to that and move that around to the back side, and then of course scale that down as well. The inner one is going to be less important as far as I'm concerned. That's pretty square, so we'll go with that. I'm going to scale it down as well. I'm just going to move it off to the side. Did I get both? I got both the inside and the outside. Whoops. Let's undo that a little bit first. And let's try to grab just the inner faces. Let's see if I can just do that. Great. UVs, cylindrical. There it is. And then scale it down first. And now that it's been scaled down, square it off a bit and continue to scale it down. I won't need a whole lot of texture space for this, but I'll put it somewhere near that. And I need the bottom of this thing, which doesn't matter really at all. There's also this bottom, which also doesn't matter. So let me grab this bottom. Whoops, can I grab that bottom? Does not look like I can because of the split going along the UVs right there, there, and there. So let's go to vertex mode, grab this vertex, right click, grow selection, and let's grow it along that side. And then what is it? Right click and go to faces, to contained faces. Now I have only those faces in there. And now the question becomes, do I want to grab it there or do I want to try to grow it? So if I try to grow this selection, let's see if we can grab what I want. And so what I want is only, is it getting the inside? Looks like it did grow on those inside areas there, which I do not want. So let's just do this then. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just do this. That should be everything. It's also got the inside of it as well, which is fine. It's not going to harm anything because I can separate those two after. So we'll do a planar on that and move it off to the side. I'm going to turn off the checkerboard for the moment because it is distracting. Go to UV shell mode, and we've got this shell here, which I'm going to move off. Then we have this smaller shell, which I'm going to scale down. So this inner shell, I'm going to go ahead and put within that shell. So one within the other. That way I can condense my UV space down a bit, or at least put things that kind of make sense in the same place. I could probably scale this up pretty close to it matching exactly if I wanted to. I'm going to grab this thing and just shove it in here as well. I don't really need to worry about the UVs overlapping. If I'm doing something like ambient occlusion or whatnot, I can put that in a second UV layer, so I don't care about the UVs being completely unique at this moment. So yeah, I'm not going to think about it. What do we have left? So we're going to have the handle, and the handle is going to be kind of a pain in the rear. And then we have these dots, the dots all over the place. And once again, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the dots. While they do add something, I think they don't add anything. It makes it feel more medieval than anything else. So I might just go to, let's see if I grab, it's the best way to do this. So we just want to do this, just go around. Let's see, what are we grabbing? Let's go to UV shell mode, move that out of the way. Whoops, let's grab, probably this. These are probably all the dots. So if I hit F8 up there, let's go to shell, grab, right click, or shift, or control right click. Let's go to faces, and let me see. If I hit delete, what happens? Yep, that's all of those. And that should have taken care of them all. Great. Yeah, let's just let it be. Those are just going to be a UV shell. Now what do we have going on? This is probably all going to be the handle from here on out. So what do we have to work with? So these all need to be brought in over here, scaled in somewhere, or down. I've got that space over there for the handle, I suppose. Then we've got the two metal pieces. We've got this bit. We have just the inside. That's the inside. So I can probably squash that down a bit and make more room. And then we have this bit here if I frame up on it, and that's just part of the handle. All right. So for the handle, So let's grab all of the faces and let's see if we can't use any of these new tools to help us out. So UVs, what's auto seam going to do? So what does this do? Mesh has non-manifold edges. Clean up the mesh before using auto seam. Okay, so mesh, let's go to cleanup, and we want non-manifold geometry. Let's hit apply. Let's go to edit, delete all by type history. Let's break things up, make my life a little bit easier. So let's grab this thing and apply. Whoa, it disappeared. That's not good. So the whole piece of geometry, it says it did not like what was going on with that. So it's definitely that has problems. So let's grab these to hit apply. So that also has issues. Let's try to get an idea of what they are. Go to face mode on this, frame on up. And I'm assuming it has something to do with this inner ring when I did the extrusion. And that's probably why I have problems. So if we first grab everything, right click, merge verts, and we have 0 to 84, merge verts. That didn't do anything. Let's go into here now and go to face mode. Go on the inside and right click, grow, grow, and shrink, shrink. And do it again. And I just want to delete that really quick. Ah, did that do anything? Does not look like it. Coming in on the inside, is there any problems with it? Whoops, frame on up. Just trying to see if there's something really wrong here that I'm missing. It's saying the whole thing's a mess. So if the whole thing's a mess, why don't we just redo it, right? So let's make a cylinder, bring it over here, and fix it. Frame up, rotate it 90 degrees. Reduce the number of polys on it. And center it somewhere. Good enough. Delete that. Grab this, frame up on it. Move that there. Verts, move them back. Right click, let's insert edge loop tool somewhere. No, that's fine. Grab these faces here and extrude them out. There we are. Okay. And now we have our piece. Great. Let me grab it really quick. I want to hit a cleanup. Okay, so there's no problems with that piece. So now I can grab it. Although it doesn't have the insert on the inside here. What does it look like over here? So it does have an insert, but quite frankly, I don't care about that. It's really not important, and I don't think you're going to notice it. So we're going to move this one over here. I'm just going to rotate this 90 degrees or 180 degrees and put it somewhere that matters, like there. We're going to take this thing, find its pivot, modify. Let's just rotate this thing. What do we want? I believe there's a center point. It's right around here. So let's move this DV somewhere there. Let's also align it with the axis of this. So let's go to edit pivot, and we want to do, what am I doing? I wanted to pivot this thing about the bucket itself. So let's move that to there. Where is the bucket? Let's go to wireframe. This is why you shouldn't delete things early on, especially construction history. Display, show all. Get rid of some of this. There we are. Now this thing, WDV, can go there. Now we can rotate, and let's go to object, or world is fine. We want to rotate this thing somewhere like that, and we're going to have to move it back. Makes sense. We're just going to eyeball it. I'm going to rotate a little bit more, and then just get it close enough. Good enough. Delete. We can grab this, and this, and this, and just move it up. We just need it close enough. And shading, wireframe off. Shading, let's turn X-ray off. This thing is now giving me problems, right? So vertex mode, grab all of them. Merge verts. Save. Now this was saying it had non-manifold edges as well. Now UVs. Clean up. Let's do, can we select? Apply. So what does it select? Frame up. Does it select the whole thing? Looks like it does. Selecting these ones right here as potentially having a few problems. So it looks like we've got interfaces. So let's delete them. So that got rid of that. So this is a normal based version, which I haven't tried before, which is interesting. It looks like it took it from a particular direction. Now I wonder if I can use that in conjunction with the auto seam tool to insert a seam along that edge. And now that I have these seams, can I grab this whole thing and then use the smooth tool to unfold this, which I can. Check that out. Relax it a little bit, smooth it, let it relax and unfold, and see if we can't. Those bits right there are giving me some trouble, but I wonder if we... There we go. There we are. We got it to snake itself apart a little bit better. And sometimes that's just what you have to do. And it actually looks like, except for this bit right here, it's properly done its thing. Looks like it's got a little bit of a crossover on a bit of it right here, but most of it is good. I'm pretty surprised that worked so well. Very surprised actually. So let's take a look again and just move things around. Once again, I'm not terribly concerned. Oh, you know what? Why don't we try the straighten tool for the UVs as well? So if we go to modify and straighten UVs. Wow, look at that. That did a great job as well. These are some great new tools. A little bit of junk going on over here. I wonder... I don't think that's better. I think that's possibly worse and for what I'm doing. Okay, good enough. Let's go with that. Now let's move things around a bit and get everything where it needs to go. So let's move this way over. Thank you. Save. Let's grab all the bits and merge them together. Good enough. Close enough. We can move this in post. Let's just get everything where it belongs. What is this? What is this? Frame up. So it looks like there was a tiny bit of that missing. Okay. So I'll have to fix that. Let's go to the UVs. Let's go to UV shells. And it looks like these guys need to move. So shell U. Come on. And, zoom in. Grab all of them. Grab all of them. Move them over here. Grab all of you. Get rid of you. Move you over there. you, Mr. Snake, can come down over here. Get scaled down a bit. And these will be dealt with in just a moment. This little bit, the sliver, needs to be put back up here. It's probably just going to be easier if I grab the whole thing now as one solid unit. And UV, cylindrical, wrap it around just like before. And then over here, just make it fit like the other one I did. So if we move this up here, just get it pretty close. Good enough. Move that down. Great. Got a little bit of space there. Move these ones up. All of you get to move up. And we just need those bolts to be finalized. Save. Come on over here. And face mode, grab all of you. And grab, let's just do one at a time. Whoops. Let's do grow. Grow. UVs. If we do normal base, it gives me that, which is interesting. So I'm guessing it's some sort of an average of the normals. And if I do that, I can grab all of them, convert this over to UVs, unselect this bit. I wonder if I can do this, actually. So what if I do it this way? So what if we do right-click face mode, grab all of you. If I grab all of you and grow, and then shrink, and shrink again, that's the top. So let's just do a UV planar on that, but planar from the preferred best plane. So that's that bit. And we can do the same thing for this, so G that. So that's those two. Although it's rotated a little bit, like 45 degrees or something. So this should actually be probably like that. And this bit, UV shell, should probably be reduced and moved in here. And then now these are just the side parts. The top bits are going to have problems, as are the side bits, so I need a cut somewhere. So let's insert a cut here and here. So come over here and let's do cuts on those. And then let's grab the UV shells. This one, tools. Let's try smooth. And two UVs, and unfold that. Well, that was not what I expected. That's what I want. There should be a cut. So I've got these two here and here and all of this. I want to cut. I have a cut right there. There shouldn't be anything connecting anything. Now there's this backside that I have to deal with. So let's grab that really quick. Grow and then shrink. And then let's do UV planar. Not that that even needs to exist. That should probably go away. But for now, we'll just stick it inside of here and we're not going to see it, so I'll make its space really small. Now that we have that, we should have this cut properly. So we can now go to UV mode, grab this, tools, and smooth, and then unfurl this whole thing and relax it first, let it crinkle up, do its thing, and let it slowly kind of come apart. Come on, you can do it. Why are you still bunching up on yourself, huh? There you go. Unbunch, damn you. Come on. You need to move. Face, this one. Are you two really linked? Can I... You... Please cut yourself. There we go. Much better. UVs. Now let's go to tools. And smooth. And unfold. And it's unfolded. Yay! Let's do the same thing for you now. Unfold. And I'm sure I'm going to have the same problem. Because why wouldn't I? Though it's looking a lot better. And you've been unfolded. Great. Great job. Let's rotate you all. And you as well. There we are. Scale that one down. Let's move these somewhere over here. Scale that one down as well. These don't need a lot of space. They're just the bolts. And we'll grab all of you and put you in here as well. And then we'll see if we can copy the UVs over. That'll probably be a lot easier. So if I want to, I can put this down here. I can grab this one and move it up there. If I like, we can go ahead and actually separate UVs out if we want to, so that they're not taking up the same texture space. And now we just need to copy the UVs from this guy and paste them over to the other one. So let me, well, screw it. You know what? Why don't I just delete this one and just stick it over there? Control D, W. Let's modify center the pivot, move it on over, and then rotate it 180 degrees. And that's going to have my UVs exactly what I want to be. Just stick them somewhere over there. It's great. If we want to, we can go center of the bucket and make it actually proper. Modify center pivot. Great. And center the bucket and move the whole thing. Modify center pivot and just move it in somewhere there. And see if we can't center that up as well. There's that one. There's that one. And our UVs are right there. Now we can restructure this thing, merge it back together, get all our UVs in one place, be happy about it, and we can go in here in the shell mode and start selecting only half of the UVs. So we can go here, we can grab you, and you, and move them out of the way. So that's these ones right here. And you ones can come over here. And I think it's the back side I'm missing for the shell, right? Let's go to, so there's these ones, and we'll move them. Which ones are those? Frame up. That's not the right set. So let's grab the other set and move them over. There we are. Okay, so we've got all those properly put in their place. So let's see, this goes there. I'm wondering if I'm wasting a lot of space by having these ones so large. And I might want to differentiate a few things. So let's do this. Let's put you two up there. That's actually breaking everything up, isn't it? We'll do you and you there. Once again, just getting fussy There's no reason to spend a whole lot of time doing this. I'm just trying to think a little bit about how I want to do stuff. I'm going to unselect these ones, bring this one down here. Now this is the bottom of, this is the visible element. So I think I want to keep this one. This one though is the bottom of the bucket and no one's going to see that. So I'm going to scale that one down and move it somewhere in here, I think. Okay, I can live with that. Now these are metal, so if I really, in a perfect world, I should be moving these towards the other metal elements so that those ones share that. So let's do that really quick. I'll move these up here. And this one, I mean, I don't know. I almost want to cut it in half to conserve more space. Yeah, these metal ones need to go. So this here can be shrunk and moved up. And then these two I can put down here and get them even closer together. And then you would move, whoops, you would move down here. And all of you would come for a ride up here. And all of you get to come up here. And yeah, we can do that, I suppose. I'm going to move this down. Just want more of a differentiation between the metal parts and the wooden parts. And we'll save that right there. Because we're already, according to my before being cut, we're already at 40 minutes of just UV unwrapping, and I'm sorry for that. Hopefully I cut this down a little bit. Let's go to, let's see, Window, Modeling Editors, UV Editor. Let's push this thing out. So Image, UV Snapshot, 2048 by 2048 should be fine. Let's do UV Supply Closet underscore bucket. Save and OK. Let's go ahead and open up Photoshop now and begin editing this thing. Supply Closet bucket. Double click it. Let's add a stroke. Looking good. And now we get to do some work. So we need a wood grain texture for this. We're going to need the same thing for that. Then we're going to want something darkening in the center part here where the mop goes. And then we're going to need some sort of a metallic-y texture for this bit, probably rusted and so forth. So let's get to work. So let's just look up wood grain dark. Images, doesn't really matter. Let's see. This one might even work. That's fine. Copy image, furniture, teams.com, something cherryish, Control V, should be fine for our needs. Actually, Control N, enter, Control V. Let's do a couple things really quick. Let's go to image size. Let's make this 1024 by 1024. Unlock that first. When you do that though, Control C, Control V, okay. Let's do filter, other, offset, 512 by 512. Okay, we can see some problems right there. Let's undo that. I'm going to take this layer, duplicate it, Control L, move the levels down, Control U, desaturate it, and I want to invert it and go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur it quite a lot so it's only the raw kind of colors. Blur it quite a lot. I want to overlay this really quick. I'm going to merge those together now, and I'm going to do a filter, other, offset, and I just wanted to try to get rid of any hotspots here and there. Now let's go through and just use simple healing tool to get rid of some of these other elements. You can use other tools if you want to. I'm not going to spend any time on this. You'll see the seam is kind of nasty right there. Specifically right here. So if you want to, let's just get rid of that. There we are. That looks kind of gross. So really, if we want to spend more time on this, we can go in here, grab this rectangular region, Control C, Control V, move it over there, and you can start to try to blend these into one another if you want to, flipping it maybe, and then getting them to line up somehow a little bit better, stretching it perhaps, and now you can begin playing with masks and so forth. It's really up to you. I'm not going to spend too long on this though. And that's opacity is a bit much, so let's lower that. Let's just let some of these bits start to intertwine and make something. But see, I'm losing. See how what I fought for was getting rid of that, and now it's coming back. So let's bring that texture up, and then go ahead and just kind of start blending however you see fit. Remember, 99% of the time, no one else knows what you're trying to do, so or what you came from, so it doesn't really matter. You'll see it, but a lot of times other people won't. So there we go. And there's a little bit right here still going on. Not terribly happy with that, but it's okay. Let's merge it, filter, other, offset. Okay. A little bit right there we could tweak up if we want to, but I'm happy with it because all we really need is something that's just not terrible. Let's go here, Control A, Control Shift C, Control V, move this over here, put it somewhere up there, somewhere like that. And actually, let's undo that a few times. Don't apply, delete that. Let's make this a pattern. Control A, Control Shift C, edit. Let's go to define a pattern, call this wood, enter. And let's grab this whole region right here and go to edit. What, Shift F5. I need a layer, don't I? So let's bring this layer on in. Let's double click this one, use UVW as the name. Let's call this outer wood. Edit, and we want to Shift F5. Foreground, let's do pattern. Let's pick our wood texture and hit OK. Shift D or Control D to deselect. We're going to grab the lower portion of the wood now, just down here. Do the same thing again. Call that inner wood. Shift F5, enter. Now we've got that texture there. We can do the same thing up and over here. Actually, why don't I just grab this whole bit, make another one, call top wood. Shift F5, enter, and Control D. So this one is the inside, and I'm going to go ahead and give this a gradient effect on top of it. So, or actually, let's just do a color burn. It's up to you. I'm just going to burn it in. Do I want to burn it? Should I just use a gradient? Let's do gradient. There's dark to white. Let's do that from here to here. Let's do overlay. No, let's do darken. Let's not make that quite so intense. Something like that, probably. And let's just call this bottom damp. Something like that. That's just dampness on the bottom. We can make that more extreme if we want to, or less extreme. It doesn't really matter. We can fix that later on. We could even, if we wanted to, duplicate the layer and then move our center point there and now scale it there. And then maybe dim that a little bit or blur that a bit and make it blend better with the surrounding. So let's do this, filter, blur, Gaussian, and then maybe not quite like that, something like that. Okay, that just gives us another ring there. We probably want some sort of decay or filth, so let's look up water damage. Let's see, Control V. What if we, what can we do here? That's a whole lot. Let's turn that off. Well, let's go to select. Let's cancel that. Let's turn these off. Who's left? Someone's left. There you go. Let's go to filter, select color range, and select maybe the reddest of the red and filter that out. Now I'm just left with that. Which is much more like pot marks than what I had. And if I go into this now, cancel that. Let's go to this. Let's go to the UVWs here, Control L. Let's first filter blur. I'm just going to blur it a little bit. And then I'm going to differentiate the two a little bit more. Yeah, still not differentiated very well. Once again, just playing, trying to get a sense of something that I like. I'm not really enjoying this so far. But I also don't want to spend too much time here. Let's bring it in and see what it looks like before I completely second guess everything I'm doing. And let's save this out as a PSD as well. You really need to see it on the model to really tell you what's wrong. And it's a good idea to get second opinions as well. So I'll probably show this off to someone else who has no idea what I'm doing. Specifically, that's always a great idea, because if they don't know what it's for and it just looks right, then that's exactly what you want. Let's go through. If you have to explain something to someone, then no one's going to get it. Edit, delete by type, history. Okay, let's right click, and what is this? Bucket? Let's call this supply room bucket. And click on that, right click, new material, and Fong, and supply room underscore bucket underscore M. Go to here and file, supply room bucket underscore, normally I call that whatever, file, texture. Let's go up to my textures and supply closet. I probably should have put that there, shouldn't I? Let's move that to supply closet and bucket. Great. Yeah, I don't like that at all. That looks like not something pleasurable, that's for sure. Okay, so things that I don't like the handle. The handle has absolutely nothing about it that's interesting. Some of this can be fixed with ambient occlusion. I don't like the rust on here. I don't like the stains on here. The stains have lost everything that's beneficial about them. The bottom looks like crap. Also, there's no differentiation between the planks on the inside, so I don't like that either. That might require me to change how this is modeled, to actually put segments and planks in there, one after the other. Yeah, I'm not enjoying much about this at the moment. I may need to do something like this, actually, where I go across the entire top and segment out each one individually. So if we go through here now, grabbing each one, making sure I don't have anything else selected, of course. And if we go right click, extrude, bring them up, and I'm also going to bring them in so that there's some clear separation between each of these elements, because I don't like the way they look right now. and probably, whoops, grab this and move this outwards along the z-axis for each one. Just so that they're defined a little bit better. I mean, at least there I can tell what's going on a bit. And what I don't like is the blarf of this whole thing. So let's see what it looks like without the blarf. This stuff gone. Let's, oh, pixels select, that's fine. Let's look at, not that. Let's look at something easier, water damage. Let's just look up mold. Mold's always a good go-to for me. Mold stains always look nasty. That's a good, I think that's a good one. That should work. Control V, let's go to UVs on this and bring it all the way up to there. Let's do an overlay on this. Those are some good blotchy stains. I want to get rid of this, or at least subdue it considerably. Whoops, not what I wanted. This is what I want to reduce. And this should be, let's see, soft light. See, I'm almost wondering, yeah, I'm going to have to bake some stuff in, I think. So let's just see what this looks like in comparison. I like the wood a little bit better. It's not perfect. The UVs on the tops are a little bit messed up, but all I got to do is drag them out. That shouldn't be a problem. The UVs are okay. I think I can do an ambient occlusion type deal on these and get some darkening effect on the insides, which will look better. But let's call it there for the bucket and move on to the mop itself. Subsequent videos where we get into the normal maps and stuff might perk this up. Some reflectivity on some of these parts might help as well. Not loving it, but we'll just stick with it because this video is really long for what it is. I will see you next time. Remember, if you liked the video, give me a like. If you dislike it, not only give me a dislike, but tell me what you disliked about it. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, always remember to subscribe. I will see you next time. George out.